This time, it was Jamie and our Wayne in the spotlight. Now, Jamie Vardy joined wife Rebecca in court for the first time in her libel case against Coleen Rooney. Wayne himself gave evidence in the witness box, and he revealed the FA wanted Rebecca to calm down. He said managers approached him and asked him to speak to Jamie in 2016 about his wife's behaviour and media coverage, as the team wanted to avoid problems and distractions at the Euros. Now, outside court, Jamie hit back, saying that was complete nonsense and they had never had that conversation. Aisha, finally the men had their day.
I loved it. It was like the men's final, basically, today. It really, really was. So much to dissect, particularly the body language from people reporting in court. Apparently, at one point, all four of them were lined up together. It looked like the world's most awkward couples therapy session was about to start. And the other thing that I love is, because, like, Wayne's been, let's be honest, a bit of a bad boy throughout the marriage. Coleen is making him carry her bag just to really emasculate him. And someone sent me this great tweet going, Wagatha Christie, in terms. But what was amazing is, like, Wayne has really, really done bad through this marriage, but today he turned up for Coleen. He kind of ambled in and he was like an old prize fighter, and he absolutely socked it to Rebecca Vardy.
Jeff, did he amble in or waddle in? Honestly, every day I watch Rooney. He's getting bigger.
He's a prize fighter that's drifted away from the grilled chicken and pasta, if you know what I mean. But look, good for him. He's not playing anymore. No. I think this is the kind of news we've needed for a long time. It makes you wonder, did we ever really care about customs unions, you know, or expenses scandals? What we want is people with too much money making idiots of themselves on a daily basis. But I would say, having to convey that news to your wife, babe, we've had a chat, and everyone thinks you should calm down. I would rather be the person that broke the Eurovision result to Vladimir Putin than do that. That's a terrifying prospect.
You wonder, Nick, right, whether they've turned up to... I mean, that's the first day that Vardy turned up. Wayne's been on duty every week. I made the serious point last night, and I will continue to make it. I just don't think it's a great look in the middle of a cost of living crisis. How much money are these wags going to spend? It's ridiculous, man, isn't it? But you love it.
I love it. I'm with Aisha. It's the kind... And Jeff, this is the kind of news that we need, isn't it? Yeah. Who else could give us such incredible tidbits of celebrity news as the fact that Wayne Rooney's private Instagram handle is Wazaroon08?
Brilliant.
Obviously, he's had to change that now because he's been outed for it. But it was incredible. Not only were we talking about who follows who on social media, but it would appear that even the judge didn't understand how private Instagram stories work.
I don't either. So there you go.
I can explain it to you.
But they're so serious looking, though, aren't they? You think, I mean, you would look at that camera crew and they'd be thinking, what is this? Is this some kind of war crimes tribunal that people are going into, that are all stony-faced?
Deadly serious.
Deadly serious. It's like, you know, her reputation is at stake. She doesn't have a reputation. She didn't ever have one.
I'm going to prove that I know nothing about Instagram by reading this with complete... I'm just going to read it. Colleen's private Instagram posts that are at the heart of the trial were revealed in court today. She planted fake stories in a sting operation to see if Rebecca watched them and if they were then leaked to the press. Keep up. These screenshots show Coleen posted a fake story about travelling to Mexico to look into a procedure to select a baby's gender. Breathe. Another claimed her new home had been flooded. But both were only ever seen by Rebecca's account, and then both stories ended up in the newspapers. Rebecca denies being the leak. Now, I just want to be honest, and this is maybe I'm missing the point. I mean, Colleen's making herself out to be Inspector Clouseau, really, here. It's not difficult, is it? If one person can see it, it's Rebecca Vardy. Am I missing the point?
It's not necessarily difficult, but it was extremely cunning, and she did it so convincingly that obviously Rebecca believed this story. Or did she not leak it to the press? It somehow managed to make its way to the press. This is what we're trying to find out actually happened. But this story got reported on, and it was so convincing that Coleen Rooney's manager actually called up the contractor on the house to ask, is the basement OK? I've heard that it's been flooded. And she had to explain that it was all faked. Basically, what she's done is she's limited the amount of people who can see her stories, which is what everybody can do once you change your settings on Instagram. And so she's eliminated, gradually, though, Jeremy, over the course of months, eliminated who she thinks could be responsible until it's been whittled down to one person.
Right, so you lot are all on social media, I'm not. So here's what I'm saying. I think you're leaking stories, so I only allow you to see a story and it ends up in the papers. You're bang to rights, right, mate? That's it.
Yeah, but you do it very carefully, so you do it so you don't tell me that.
Right.
You do it very carefully. I mean, listen, Coleen, if you're watching, I'm sure you are, there's a job going at the Met. I think Coleen Rooney, with sort of sleuth-like skills,
Yeah.
I mean, forget Cressida Dick, we need Coleen Rooney heading up the Met, I think.
I can't wait for the Netflix biopic of this. I'm already fast-forwarding 8 years to the 8-part series. You know, we had the OJ one, but we need new material. They have selflessly thrown themselves on the fire so that we've got... Well, this is great content, isn't it? But I mean, if anything suggests that Wags maybe have a little bit too much time on their hands, it's a sort of 3-month sting campaign.
I agree with that. Mike, I'm throwing you right under the bus here. Who plays them on the Netflix
Well,
thing?
Nicola's already offered to play...
Who are you playing?
I want to play Rebecca Vardy.
Much more fun.
Are you playing Wayne?
I could play Wayne. I'll get a tighter suit. I'll have a huge bag to carry. I mean, what's in that bag, by the way? Because poor old Wayne...
Is its wife sandwiches?
But, you know, Wayne Rooney's been put in a situation here.
sandwiches.
He's been put in a terrible situation that a lot of men get put into when there's sort of people who work together. And would you mind just having a word with your wife and just, you know, telling her to just cool it a bit? I mean, everybody's been in that place at some point or other in their life, and nobody ever wants to do it. Those guys don't want to be in the courtroom. They really don't.
But also, the funny thing is, the reason why those court portraits, they look like they're in The Hague, is basically because the amount of grief they're going to get from their respective wives when they get home that day. I mean, they're just going to get absolutely leathered by their wives.
I guess I just must finish this part by saying that I've moaned about covering this every night, and I came downstairs and one of my oldest friends, Lola, was in the house this morning. I've known her 20 years, and she went, "Oh, my God, that Wagatha Christie thing's amazing, Jez." And I went, "Oh, no." They were right.
They were
Unbelievable.